Hi, I'm Aadi,
And I am Adi,
and you're having chai with Aadi.
Adi, and Adi.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Chai with Aadi and Aadi. And today we have Prashant joining us, which is very exciting. But first, I want everyone to know what Aditya has been up to in the last few days.
Very exciting.
Can you show us your view? Aditya's in Shimla at the moment.
So I had to return back to India in an emergency evacuation flight, and I had like 1 day's notice to come back. So in 1 day, I packed up everything and I flew back. And now we are doing this amazing episode from India and Australia. And it is really a pleasure to have Prashant, speaking to Prashant during quarantine. I feel so blessed. So I'll show you the amazing view from here. So only Chai with Adi and Adi viewers get to see this view now. So this is where I am in my quarantine. It's really exciting, Adi.
It's very picturesque. Like I saw it at nighttime as well. Shimla looks beautiful.
Yeah. So what are you having today?
Well, I have rosebuds. Yeah, literally rosebuds with some of my aunt's honey and hot water. It's very nice. What about you?
Beautiful. So I'm having something called as kada. It is like a mixture of a lot of herbs that they are providing us here during our quarantine to keep our immunity good. It is very bitter.
Well, let's ask our next guest. But let's give him a little intro before that. So, Aditya, take it away. He's got
Yeah.
quite a few things
So
on his list.
So, Prashant, actually, I had the pleasure of assisting in a course where Prashant was teaching, and I was swayed by his energy in the course. And I just felt like, even online, I could feel that energy. I don't know how it will be in the physical course. So, that is when, and there he shared some guru stories of his, and that is when I was like, we need to have Prashant on our show. He has traveled a lot of countries, including Russia, Germany, and Bali for satsangs, and he has taught courses there. He even started Art of Living in New Tilros. What is it?
In East Timor.
Yes, East Timor, and that is a wonderful story, and we will get to hear about it more. And he also became a Sehed Samadhi teacher in a very young age and very quickly. And that is a very beautiful program, as we all know. So it is our pleasure to have him here. He's also the first, and I think the only Australian to have published a devotional music album with the Art of Living. It is called Shunyata Just Grace, and as the name suggests, this episode is going to be a lot about grace and feeling that divinity in our own lives. So let's get on our guest next, Adi, on the screen.
Yes,
Hi,
welcome.
Prashant.
Hi. Hello, Adi, and hello, Adi. How are you?
We're good. Tell us what you're having for your chai today.
Okay. So I've made a ginger, lemon, and honey. Very basic, but very effective.
It actually seems to be a chai with Adi and Adi favorite. So you're doing good.
Thank you. I've got a good start then.
Thank you for joining us today. We know you have a lot of interesting guru stories from the online breath and meditation workshop Aditya was actually assisting with. I was eavesdropping and I heard some of your gurus. I heard a guru story or two. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to have him on. So let's start with a few things just to get to know you. So if you were a country, what would your national emblem be?
Two swan with the rising sun in water.
Very original. Very original.
All right. What's your season of choice?
I like spring.
Why is that? What about spring? You've been all over the world, all different weathers and seasons. Why spring?
First of all, I like the word spring. It makes you enthusiastic. And second, it's neither too hot, neither too cold. New things starts, new beginnings, and just a change which gives you hope that something good is coming.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful.
Okay, so who are 3 people that you would invite to your dinner table?
3 people? Okay. So me as a physical body,
Nice.
myself, my subtle body, and my guru as a physical body.
Beautiful. Can I be a witness to that dinner?
I can maybe zoom it out for Aadi and Aadi.
Yes. All right. Next question is, what is your guilty pleasure? Like my guilty pleasure is tea.
Mm.
To be honest, my guilty pleasure is food. I'm a big foodie. I love
Oh.
anything which is vegetarian, of course. And because I love cooking, it's not helping, because if anything I see, I can cook.
Yeah.
So it's very hard.
Nice. Well, what's your favorite song lyric?
तुम ही हो क्योंकि तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो.
You
From-
are. Can you translate that in English for some of us?
Okay, so there's a song from movie Ashiki too. It says, because of you, you're the everything in my life, and my life doesn't mean anything without you. So
Beautiful.
it's for
That's
Gurudev.
beautiful.
Of course.
And last question for you in this rapid fire, Prashant. If
So
there was a
early.
book to be written, sorry.
I said rapid fire so soon, it's so rapidly finishing. Just kidding.
Yes, we like to keep our rapid fire short and fiery.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
so if a book was to be written about your life and about your journey, what would you like to call that book?
A guy who made several mistakes to find his master.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, very captivating title.
Hope so.
Well, Aditya in the beginning was mentioning your devotional album, Shunyata. I know that there's a guru story behind it, and I haven't heard it yet, so I'd love to hear it. Tell me.
So I'll show you something first, if you don't mind. I've got a copy of the album with me. It's very rare to find now physical copies, right? So this is the album.
It looks 3D. It's 3D. Wow, a 3D album.
And basically that's our Gurudev right here. And it was published by Art of Living.
Nice.
Now, what I want you to see is, it was music director for my album was Sahil Jatyani.
Ooh.
Yes.
And so in short, the story is that I was in Bangalore ashram in one of the Navaratris, 2015 Navaratri, I think, because I think this got released in 2016, Shivaratri. So from Navaratri to Shivaratri, it's not a long time, you know, when you think about something which you have never even comprehended in your life that you would do, right? Especially coming in with an album. So I was there, I was doing advanced course, and I think a lot of our, Art of Living family is very small. You go around, people meet each other, they remember. So while I was in silence, a lot of people asked me to come and play djembe. I used to play djembe a lot before in the satsang, but because I was in silence, I thought, nah, it's okay. But then 3 or 4 days to go before Navaratri, someone called me that I'm being asked to come and join the satsang team. So I was very humbled, and I thought, oh wow, to be part of satsang team of ashram is really epic. So I was a bit nervous, but I went there, and then I had no instruments. So I borrowed a djembe from another person and started playing. And then got an opportunity to sit with Sahil Bhaiya was sitting next to me, Manikantanji was there, and all these big shots. And I was feeling so small. I was like, what am I doing here? I was feeling a little nervous. And then while we were singing, I got opportunity to sing with them. And before satsang was finishing, Sahil Bhaiya asked me, hey, something to do with singing. And then I said, look, I've just written a couple of bhajans, and maybe, if you have time. He said, before even I could say, he said, why don't you catch up tomorrow with me in Radhakunj and show me what you got? I'm like, are you serious? Because I thought maybe it's not going to happen, Sometimes people say and then they forget. And then I said, and I had no guitar. I was panicking, and I quickly ran to ask someone, can I have your guitar? And this guy said, yeah, you can use my guitar. It's like not been played for over 8-10 years. That's it, but you can use it. It's like the strings are all, nothing is tuned, but you can have it. So it was kind of him. So I said, okay, I'll take it. So I took the guitar, and then I ran, and then I was waiting because at that time, I wasn't sure whether Bhaiya will come. He rocked up, and then we went to Radhakunj. And then I was trying to show him what I have composed. And just that moment, there was nobody around, and Gurudev's car was coming. And we both stood up, and we were like shocked, looking what happened. And then he was driving past wearing his smart glasses. He looked at us, gave a big smile, and he did like this, how Guruji does. And then we both like, oh my God, did this just happen? Then I was like, wow. So I feel that was kind of, now I think of it, it was kind of blessing from him already starting to flow that we were meant to. And then I showed him the songs I have composed, and which I was traveling, the Russian trip, I had a chance to compose out of my bhajan, most of them in there. And then he said, you should have an album. I said, oh, you sure? And then he helped me with music and everything. And we started to, interact, and then it got composed. And then before Shivratri, it was released by Shri Shri Publication Trust in Ashram, Divine Shop. And that's how it happened.
Wow, amazing.
So, Prashant, this is a beautiful story of, how I don't think you were a professional singer, right, before that?
No. I still don't think I am. I think singing is something you can never, I feel more and more you learn, more you don't know much. And for me, singing is not performing. For me, singing is translating your emotions through words, finding meaning to your sensation, and able to partially communicate to others. So, and more I get to sing Guruji bhajans, I realize that it's never from throat, it's from heart. Yeah. So, yes.
And how did you come up with this name?
Shunyata. Oh, well. See, the thing is, Shunyata means nothingness. Yeah. So I felt whatever was happening, it was just happening because he wanted to happen. It happened. And it happened to be that I was the one who was delivering it. It could have been anybody from 1.2 billion people in the world, or 7 billion people in the world, sorry. So I felt that I had no input in it, though it was known as my album, but I feel I have nothing to do with it. So for me, it's nothing. However, as Guruji says, from nothingness, you can experience everything. Yeah. So that journey, I want people, when they listen to this album, to experience, to take them to that nothingness, where the mind is calm and quiet at the same time. It's enjoying the moment. And that's why whenever I say the name of my album, I always say Shunyata, just grace. Because until I had that just grace, I feel it's not complete. That just grace is what has made it happen for me. So that's what the meaning behind it is. Yeah.
Beautiful. So can we hear some song from that album?
Yes, please.
Oh,
I saw you rocking at the satsang yesterday for Guru Purnima, and I want to repeat.
I love it. Well, I have a guitar ready but I wasn't sure it was my album song you would ask. So, it's good. So, because I rarely play my own songs, which is kind of interesting. I've noticed about me. I try not to play my songs. But well, I'll play this song for you.
Thank
It's
you.
I'll play a couple of lines of. It's a Devi bhajan. Sarveshwari Jayama Durgeshwari Jayama Sarveshwari Jayama Parameshwari Jayama Rajeshwari Jayama Durgeshwari Jayama Ma Jayama Ma Jayama Ma Jayama Ma Jayama Ma Jayama Ma Jayama.
Thank you so much. You
You're
know,
welcome.
actually, I should tell you that there's someone who's Sri Ramu here has on the live chat recalls a time that you came to Abu Dhabi and it was such an amazing experience for him. Maybe towards the end of the show, will you play Tum Hi Ho for us towards the end?
Sure, of course.
Perfect. Stay
Love to
tuned,
play.
Sri Ramu.
Yeah.
Great. And you're all welcome to look at the type in what you'd like in the live chat because we are actually taking a look. But we'd love to get to more of these guru stories. So you've been all around the world, like in satsangs, as well as taught in Russia, Belarus, I believe Spain as well. And how did you end up in East Timor?
Well, I think I wouldn't say I've been all around the world yet, but yeah,
Okay.
a few places, just a couple of here and there. So East Timor, it was one of our devotees from Perth, actually, and he did my happiness course a few years ago, and he was really he found what he was looking, he felt, and he felt a lot of connection with Gurudev. And very sincere seeker, I would say. And he's one of those guys, when you sit in the course and, like there's some people who are always responding and reacting to how you're going. If they're enjoying, they go like this. And if they're not enjoying, they go like this, their face gives everything, and then there's some people who are like, no matter what you do, no matter what you conduct, and they're like, so I thought, man, maybe this guy is one of, and I was, I was very young teacher at that time. I just started my teaching. So I was self-doubting. I'm like, oh my God, am I doing a good job? Hope Guruji, I was keep asking him for forgiveness. I'm like, maybe I'm not teaching the way I should teach something, And it was those days, it was 6-day programs. Yeah, these 3 days have just come recently. So 6-day program, and it takes you 3 hours each day, and then last 2 days you do at least 4.5 or 5 hours each. It was a very long course. And last day in experience sharing, he surprised me 2 bits. His experience was so profound, and he was so happy, and actually I saw him smiling on that day really nicely, and I was so happy inside. I'm like, wow, this worked for him. And then, it establishes us more and more about what our Guruji's work is. It's not, sometimes we forget. We know all this, but we forget. And then it reminds you, no. End of the day, he got it, So this guy came to me suddenly. He said, look, I'm working for this so-and-so company, and there is a possibility of exploring this new country called East Timor and maybe doing a course there. So will you go? I said, look, for Guruji's work, I'll go anywhere, no matter what. And because East Timor at that time we didn't have our living set up there, and so I said, okay, fine, we'll just look into it. And then I flew from here. Before going, I had like 3 days, and in 3 days he had a connection with somebody there, yoga teacher, which we have not met yet. And she, can you believe, someone I've not met is organizing a course for Guruji, who has not met Guruji, have not done any course for Guruji. And we had about 17 or 22, I can't remember, don't quote me right now, people on the first course ever. And we had a fantastic course. And then we did Guru Puja also, we did satsangs also. And those people absolutely loved it. There were a few expats in there who were traveling, but some of the locals were there. And then after that, I went to see Guruji in Bangalore Ashram. And then he knew, the moment he saw me, he looked, East Timor. And the way he did, I was like, oh. So, you just feel like, oh my God, what to say, like, and then that country got added to the list, and then that chapter was given to Indonesia. It's closer from there and they can look after. And then teacher of Indonesia are doing a fantastic job. I think they're looking after that. But one of the things I want to say about that trip though, for something which I now can think about, it was one of the toughest times of my life, condition wise. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep because of the humidity. And the room which I was staying had no windows, and it has just 4 bricks. It was a very old house, and everything about that place was minus luxury. Anything you call basic luxury or needs, you just go really bad. It was like nothing. So I felt maybe it's my karma burning as well, happening at the same time. And what I found interesting was I would sleep probably 2 or 3 hours a day, because just when sunrise would happen, it would get a little cool, and then I would fall asleep. But then I have to get up early. Still, all those days I stayed there, I had so much energy. I had no weakness, or I didn't feel tired or lethargic. Something about Guruji's grace, it just was driving the whole program. And that's something which I always remember, that we should be prepared to overcome any circumstance, whether it's sometimes you'll give you a very good place to stay and you'll be treated like a king, and then sometime you suddenly feel that where are you? And I also experienced the same thing in other parts of the world, Russia, when I went. So what I want to share with everybody today is Gurudev doesn't just give knowledge, he gives us enough time, situations to experience that knowledge and become that. And in this, the lesson which I think we can take away, if I may say very briefly, in how in Ashtavakra, sorry, I think it's in Yoga Vashishta, where Gurudev had, there's one of the chapters you must have heard, he says, son of Vyasa had went to Janaka to asking the highest knowledge. And because his son of Vyasa himself should be knowing everything, but he went, and how King Janaka treated him for 7 days, like ignored him completely. And then other 7 days gave him the most of the luxuries possible. And then after that, when he met him and he asked him, what is the highest knowledge? He said, the highest knowledge is that in the extreme situations, you should not forget your focus and be poised. So son of Vyasa turned around and said, oh, I knew this already anyways. What is new you taught me? My dad told me this before, that's why. He said, that's it. Your dad told you everything you need to know. Why did you come to me? So it was also a son's understanding that maybe my father doesn't know enough. I have to go to somebody else. I must try some other venues. So much knowledge in that sentence compresses, So Gurudev gives us not just, as I said, I'm repeating myself, he will give us situations to learn that knowledge, whether it's adverse or very good.
Very nice. I was actually looking at your WhatsApp, and I wanted to ask you why you've written walk like a king and be a perfect servant. What does that mean to you?
Well, again, as I said, it's Guruji's words and Guruji's book. So it's got nothing to do with me. I have just copy pasted it from there. When we became a teacher, when I became a teacher, when you look at the manual, and there's a small book, very thin book, and the topic is walk like a king and be a perfect servant. I'm not a reader, okay, to be very honest. I'm a very bad. All the studies whatever I've studied is only my books for my, which I need, and I barely studied that also. I was like, oh, somehow, okay, I have to do it, minimum required study, So that book I read. One of the reason I read that book was because it was very thin. So I thought, okay, it's in my capacity. It is not too big. So, and believe me or not, after every few months, I won't say I regularly read it, but sometime when I stumble upon it, when I'm looking in my manual, I read it again, especially some chapters where it helps you to, like Gurudev has given us some tips of, after becoming a teacher, how to maintain that feeling, or what to not let happen. And I have experienced myself firsthand that things changes. Sometime a small mind comes in, sometime ego comes in, sometime feeling that you're better than others also comes in. Sometime we doubt ourselves. Sometime we think, am I a hypocrite? Am I teaching what? Am I following myself? Am I regular in my sadhana? I'm telling this to my participants. So there's a lot of, look, I'm being very candid and open with you here. Yeah? So there's a lot of thing goes through a teacher's head. The expectations from people, they expect things from us. They see us differently. If you don't have the title of a teacher, they might see us, or they might excuse us more compared to when we do. So all those things are happening, right? When you go back to that book, Gurudev knows or knew that this is what my teachers will go through. He's already aware of that. So when I read that book, it reminds me, okay, it's okay. Everything is fine. Nothing to worry. And that sense of security which it brings, I think it's unparalleled. So nowadays we use WhatsApp so much. I thought maybe I won't get a chance to go and look at the book again and again as frequent as I would. Look at my WhatsApp. See, now today you reminded me. I am very happy. I'm like, thank God. So now I'm not nervous anymore. Before I was thinking, what should I say? How should I say it?
No, Prashant, so you have spent so much time with Gurudev, and especially there are so many Bali stories. Like, I saw some pictures of you walking with Gurudev, even taking his shawl for him. And in one of the pictures, he's looking at you and smiling. So many memories you have in Bali. It will be so nice if you could share some of those memories with us, so that we can relive those memories with you here.
Of course, I would love to, Adi. I would love to. That's like, it's like you're saying, do you want to have gulab jamun? Of course I would. I love gulab jamun, See, where should I start? I always feel and believe now that we all are very blessed. See, before, I'll say 7-8 years ago, maybe, I used to think that these words that we are blessed was only a word for me. Like I would say, oh, we are blessed. Oh, we are blessed. I never felt it. I never believed it. If I be really honest with you. Okay. So I never understood the importance of it. I would say because some senior teacher said, look, we all are blessed because Gurudev is in our life. Right? So imagine if someone's telling you, you're very blessed, Guruji is in your life. What are you going to say? No, I'm not blessed. You'll say, yeah. But something deep down may or may not, okay? So I come from a background where I had doubted our path a lot. A lot. Like it took me almost 4 years after knowing what art of living is, after my sister did the course in India a long time ago. Still, it took me 4 years to first time experience the program, right? My whole family had done Art of Living course, except me. I was the last one. And at this stage, I'm the only teacher of the family. So when I happened to start know about Gurudev, so the first story I want to share with you very briefly is, in my heart, I questioned and challenged him that if you're really what people think you are, then not that I think, but if people are so devoted to you, then maybe show me some magic, but magic not like walking on air or grabbing coins from the air, just show me something. And at that time, I was at age of 17, 18, and I was into Rotaract, which is a Rotary's youth wing. It's a volunteer. Again, I was always into volunteer, but I never had the guru element before now, which I do, right? So in my eyes, I thought world peace is very hard. And it's a big term, right? World peace. I thought if you can make India, Pakistan friends, I'll be seeing that you have something. That challenge was there in my heart. See, that thing I never shared with anybody. Nobody knew that that's what my question to him was. And happened to be, we were going to Bangalore for the, I think it was 2006 Cultural Festival, I think, at that time in Bangalore. So there I've entered the whole ground, and first thing I see is India-Pakistan flag. I was shocked. I'm like, impossible. So I ran to check in what's actually happening. I ran as fast as I could. When I went closer, I actually saw, yeah, there are people from Pakistan in India, and they're dancing and they're singing bhajans and they are friendly with them. I was like shocked. I was like, really? Is that possible? How is it possible? So that was my earned break with that whole perception I had that no, maybe there is something about him. And then when I came back to Australia after that, something happened. I fell in love with him. No reason. I don't know why. There is absolutely no reason. I would have his photo in my brand new car at that time I bought. I was a very young student and I finished my studies. I bought and put that sticker on my car. I would send people to do the Art of Living courses who I didn't even know who were the teachers in Perth at that time. I had no idea whose Perth group is, what is the chapter like, what is the system. I used to just, whoever I would meet, something will make me talk to them about Sudarshan Kriya and tell them go to Art of Living. And they would go and do the courses in Perth chapter. So my journey as a volunteer began before even I came in the organization in a way. I feel. But then, as you said, coming to the fact that I started to get more time with him, which is very nice, it just started to happen. He would just, when I see me, just grab my hand and start walking with me. So I would first feel very shy and very nervous and not sure what to do. I'm not a shy kind of guy, but with him, I don't know, something happens. My voice changes, my tone changes. It just becomes as if I'm like a little kid. And then it happened more often than I thought. Without planning, it just happened to be some places I'm with him, and suddenly before I know, I'm actually with him. And when you're with Gurudev, I feel it's so hard to explain what happens there. It's almost like if someone will take your video and show it to you later, you would say, actually, I don't remember all this happening. You're in that space of prana or masters like that. We think what's happening, but actually someone else's eyes see a very different thing. You know how you said that like some photos might be floating on Facebook or somewhere where you see Guruji walking, but I would have a different idea at that moment. Yeah. One of the things I share with you on that one incident in Bali happened where I was just sitting as a part of part 2, and there was 45 minutes for us. We had 45 minutes. Guruji was coming to give a darshan, and Swamiji was taking the course, and he said, look, just organize. He said, you guys organize yourself so that Guruji can walk through. Nothing was happening. So first I quickly got up. I like to take responsibility. I like to take initiatives. So I first got up quickly. I said, okay, I'll go and do something about it. But then I realized maybe let's give someone else a chance. So I sat down. Few minutes I waited, but something inside me saying, no, come on, get up, go take it. So I went to Swamiji and said, Swamiji, do you mind if I quickly arrange all this? I have not known Swamiji before that. He just looked at me, he gave me the mic. He said, go ahead. And then I started to talk and kind of, start having some fun and start dividing the countries and then start like making them sit in a rows, and it all happened very nicely. So when everything finished, 1,500 people, it's a lot of people to manage in a group.
Wow.
Yeah, and especially when they want to meet Gurudev. So they all were excited, and they're like, so I would make fun with different countries, a joke, so they all kind of like it. At the same time, I was a bit strict, so that they have to do it, right? So after everything was done, I gave my mic back to Guru Swamiji. Swamiji, there you go, your mic. And then he looked at me and said, oh, go upstairs and bring Gurudev. I'm like, what? So I was like, are you serious? Because I was in my PJs, and the t-shirt I was wearing is like my PJs and stuff. I'm like, oh wow. And he says, and then he told me, make sure you be with him while he's walking. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I said, is it even possible? I was so excited. I went up. So now when I'm going up, now I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Swamiji told me this, but nobody has a proof of it. Nobody has given me a letter of it. Why would anybody, even the guard would let me in? Especially I'm just coming up wearing a PJ and so your questions come to your head, like, how will I get through there? Nothing. I walked in, door open, nobody there. I knocked, nobody there. I'm like, what's going on? And then I saw Gurudev's, footwear. And then he comes from the top, dancing like a little child, slips into his footwear effortlessly, walks straight, and I'm just frozen looking at him. And he comes and he grabs my arm and says, Chalo, let's go. I'm like, whoa, let's go, Chalo. And then we're walking already. And I had all this list prepared, I should give Guruji about my list, I thought, okay, I'm going to give him, this is Japan, this many people. I made all that. So I was prepared. So I'm thinking about that. Guruji, Guruji doesn't care about that. But at least that I knew about it. So we walked inside the lift. And then, Master is very playful. So he's like little tickles or pulls my cheek. And I'm like shying away. And I'm like, oh, Guruji, I don't know what to do. And then we reach the main venue and we are about to enter. We are about to enter the massive, where everybody's eyes are at Gurudev. And you won't believe what happened then. I was about to say with my hand forward, Gurudev, that is Japan. And before I could say that, Gurudev turned towards me, grabbed my t-shirt, pulled it up. He says, oh, let me see your tattoos. So he started checking these tattoos. Okay. And I was like, wow, it's happening right now in middle of where 1,500 people's two eyes each are staring. And I was loving it. Don't take me wrong. I was enjoying the tension. No doubts about it. I'm not going to say, oh, of course. I mean, who wouldn't? Wouldn't you if you were in that place? So, but those actions made me realize that for Master, nothing changes. This is my views, okay? I could be wrong. For Guru, everything is same. There is no special time, good time, bad time, in front of. He is so like a child, like he's so real. See, it took me a few years to realize what that means. Do you see, first couple of years, I was living in a la la land. Wow, I was so lucky, blessed. But after that, when I started to see what is he trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me? Lesson is be natural where you are. And that is the hardest thing to do, I tell you what. We become so stiff and we become so, like I feel we don't give enough time to people to know us the way we are. So I think I'm learning that from him, and hopefully she'll learn in future. So that's one of the story about
What an incredible story. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine how you must have been feeling. Loving the attention, but in front of 1,500 people.
I know, I loved it.
Wow.
I'll openly admit it. I was feeling top of the world.
Yeah.
And you know what happened after that? When we finished the walk around, I got very tired. So a lot of people who have been with Gurudev, they have said and they've spoken that if, Bhanuma said, if you doubt who he is, if you doubt, then just spend one day with him and you'll know who he is. I believe that because, forget about 1 day, 1 hour, 2 hours, and I was feeling like I'm done for the whole day. I can actually go and sleep and rest because I was feeling so tired, and there's like, one more story is popping in my head. If you like, I'll just, which is very interesting. Yeah.
We do like.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tell us.
It was in Taiwan when I was with him. First of all, I have never been to Taiwan before this. There was no reason for me to go to Taiwan. I'm sitting in my home and I'm feeling, let's go to Taiwan. Guruji is coming from Perth. There was some conference or something in a few days. Okay, let's go. How, what, when? And at that time, I was financially very, like, just bare minimum, make my expenses and full focus on teaching and only, doing, not worried about. So I'm like, how will I afford this and all that? And before I say check the flight, I got ticket much cheaper than normally I would get. So my credit card was not going through when there was a normal price. But then when next day I tried, I got probably $400 cheaper than normal. That is a lot of saving. So then I reached there, and then at the airport, what happened was Guruji's flight was coming and my flight got delayed and his flight came early, something like that. So he walked in. I was the first person to welcome him in the airport because I was at the main gate of inside the airport, which we haven't even checked out. And then I walked with him, and then, he took me with him and he said, look, I said, Guruji, I don't know why I'm here. That was the truth. He said, yeah, come with me. He just said that. And I thought come with me means just come with me, but I didn't thought it means he will take care of every single thing. And then we were out, and then there was a VIP bus there. We checked out. Before we could go outside, there's people giving him flowers, so he was giving me the flowers to hold. It was just roses. But when I was grabbing the flowers in my hands, and I think I'm quite strong, I feel I am. But the weight of the flowers, I was not able to handle. I don't know. I have no answers. I'm just sharing this outright. I don't know why. I was struggling to even hold, and not that they were like, I was like, it's so big. And then somehow we put it down and somewhere, and then there was a bus. And it's okay, come in the bus. It's okay, let's go. So I was not meant to be in that bus. I was trying to explain them, look, I'm not the VIP you think. I'm just a normal guy. I've just taken a flight. And no. But I was in the list added by the lady. My luggage got missing. I had no problem. I was very happy. So we reached Shangri-La's where Guruji was staying, and then I thought, no, this is not the hotel I can afford. I am going to quickly go somewhere. And in my heart, my whole trip is fulfilled because I was with Gurudev for that moment. But then it was just a beginning. So one guy came and tapped on my shoulder. He's a lovely guy, Abhilash. He's from Mumbai. And he said, do you need to have a room or something you can share? And now my luggage wasn't there, and I was not planning to stay there anyway. So I was just waiting for me to get my luggage. People were fighting to get room in that floor where Gurudev is. Forget about even that, and they were not getting in concierge. And I was sitting there thinking this is out of my hands, not cup of my tea. But then luggage, they found luggage, and then this guy gave me his room number. Said, come and share and don't worry, just pay me whatever. So when I went to that room, you won't believe that. I was checking out the room everywhere, all these big bathrooms and everything. And then when I opened one door, what happened? I see, what is this door? And I opened that door and Gurudev was sitting and eating food. So I was like, quickly closed it. I was like, did it really happen? Like, that happened? Yeah. So I opened again, he's eating his food and he's looking at me like this. He says, come. And I'm like, okay, how is this happening? My room, his room, what's going on? Something is not making sense. Then I realized that the guy who offered and tapped on my shoulder, he was officially traveling with Gurudev. I didn't even know. And because of that, I could be in that room where actually one door opens and it's Gurudev's meeting room.
Wow.
And there are some more stories which happened, but which I think are rather some other time. But he took us to every single event. And you know how your parents tell you, come on, get ready, we have to go. When we are kids, mommy, papa says to us. So imagine Gurudev saying, okay, get ready, we have to go there in the evening. And you know how exciting. It's like, I didn't even have my luggage at that moment. It was still with those devotees. But he said, go get ready. I go, yeah. I went running in my room. Okay, get ready. Okay, no clothes. So quickly washed my face, clean, okay, ready to go. And then you go with him. When you actually travel with him, more humility dawns because everybody treats you with so much respect and you feel somewhere, I feel, I don't deserve this. I don't know. I think people are making me mistake. I'm not even the VIP. There's something not right here. I kept questioning myself for 2 days. But by the time third day came, I was okay, accepted. He just wants you to no problem. And then there was one funny thing happened. There were a lot of amazing people in that flight, like who was VIP. So Gurudev is so like I don't know what to say. He raised my tattoo in front of them and he said, "Oh, check out his tattoos." And he did that and he left. Everybody became like a bee. Okay. So he creates that like so that you make you feel part of the group. There's a subtle messages. It's not like what I'm saying. It's so beautiful to learn that from our master. Like when sometimes we are good friends sitting together and someone comes who's not part of the group. How to make them feel welcome. These are the lessons which Guru teaches through these actions. This story doesn't mean I'm very special or I'm very different. No, actually, I've now genuinely believe these are stories so that I could also learn the skills of how to be a good human being. Somewhere I lacked that. So he gave me that experience. Before I used to think, oh wow, I'm very special. But now I think maybe he's teaching me firsthand what I need to do with others. How do I make others feel comfortable in the group? Example. So that is what I think the Guru stories are about.
So beautiful, Prashant. And I'm sure we have so many Guru stories that we could go on, and we also would not tire. But uh, now I would like to ask you, a lot of volunteers are watching, a lot of teachers are watching this from Australia and from other parts of the world. And this will stay on this online platform for the time to come. And, so many people will watch it even in future. So what is one message that you would like to give to all the volunteers and teachers who are watching this?
Oh, okay. Adi, I don't think I am at that place to give message to teachers and volunteers because I feel I am not worthy of it. But as a colleague, as a friend, I can share something. Okay, maybe allow me to share my feelings with
Yes,
you.
please.
And I'll use your platform because you both are doing such an amazing job by connecting these dots and beautiful. I really appreciate. So I think what I want to share with all my family is we all are in the path, yeah, and path sometime may appear easy, sometime it appears difficult, sometime it appears unreachable, and sometime it doesn't even appear whether there is something going in front. These are my experiences I'm sharing. I'm not saying that is applicable to all. Maybe some might have a different view. What I have seen that what I believe today, tomorrow it might not be. What I think, what I thought yesterday probably has already changed in me also and in other people also. And it's very hard to be real to ourselves. I found it's very easy to get lost in translation of expectations of people, especially when, as you said, all these tags come, teacher who has traveled, or person who has an album, or person who has whatever, all these things. It becomes heavy and heavy and heavy. I feel the burden is so much that then we forget who we are, or at least I'm talking about me. So my message or my sharing is, if we only think that all this is happening because we are chosen to do this so that we can improve our life. Before I used to think that I am the instrument, but actually now I'm understanding the meaning of it. I am not the instrument because I was good and that's why Guruji took me. He doesn't need me or any of us. He is already there. He don't need anyone. But he is taking care of our ego, and he's also taking care of our independence of a choice as a human. See, when we are born, we have a right. God has given us rights to have freedom. Nature will never take away that right. So Gurudev is working very, very carefully balancing. Is because of the choices, he will never tell us what to do. That's why a lot of people go and ask Guruji, what should I do? He said, look, choice is your blessing is mine. Why does he say that? Because he doesn't want to interfere in your freedom. At the same time, hai na? So have you noticed that? So what happens is at the same time, whenever we are forgetting that I am actually, he's using us so that he can improve our karma, clear our backlog, so we can transcend. Do you see what I'm saying? There is not even a chance of thinking that we are something better. No point. And I'll tell you one more interesting thing, Adi. There will be people who love you to bits in this organization or in the world. They'll follow you, they'll love you, whatever you do. And there'll be some people who would look at you and they say, oh my God, who is this? I can't stand a chance. What does this guy think of himself? What does this guy think? What is something special? Very much possible. First, you might get angry with these people. Oh, I don't like these people. And second, you might start to hang out more with people who are praising you. And it's totally fine. I can tell you that. Nothing wrong in that, right? How can I be with somebody who's always criticizing me or backstabbing you? Huh? Natural. But what I'm saying is, in our heart, if we learn to forgive them, it's very hard though. It's very hard, huh? I'm telling you. I'm not going to give you any false hope here. I'm sorry. Extremely difficult. In fact, those people who you don't like or have trouble with, they are more in our mind than the people who we like. So my view is keep working, keep surrendering to Guruji. Ki bhai, I can't handle this. Please take care of it. And that is my message. So don't give up the path because of people around us or because of the time have changed. Sometimes he might make you like a king and sometimes he will. So it's all part of our learning. So that is my message.
Beautiful. Thank you. You know, just on our live chat, Karan Sood has actually asked a question. Very nice question, actually. It's quite personal. So, but has Guruji given you advice or instruction personally in his presence?
Ah, interesting question, huh? Very. Look, everybody's relation with master is very personal. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
So I would say yes. Put in this way. If it's really needed, he will give you exact personal advice. Unless whatever he says, if he doesn't say anything, that means, this is my understanding again, don't quote me on this. If he says, okay, blessing is mine, that means whatever choice you make, it's not harmful for you. But if he gives you something that only when it's so like where you know it's something really bad, then he will stop you. So answer is yes.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Well, just before we go, we'd love to hear another song from you, the one that was requested.
Oh, yes.
Could you please sing Tumi Ho for us?
Sure. Let's see.
Thank you.
हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा, हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा, तुझसे जुदा कर हो जाएंगे, तुम खुद से ही हो जाएंगे जुदा, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी, अब तुम ही हो चैन भी, मेरा दर्द भी, मेरी आशिकी, अब तुम ही हो। जैसा एक पल दूर गवारा नहीं तेरे लिए हर रोज है जीते खुद को दी मेरा वक्त क्योंकि तुम ही हो अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो You still there?
That
Or
was
you
beautiful.
Well, oh my God, left already.
Adi, you're on mute.
So transporting.
Yeah. Adi's like, mute the sound. Oh my God.
I was muting me. I was muting me.
I know, right? Mute him right now. Mayday. Can't do this. And then Adi goes, I told you to keep it in July. No, why you May? It's a Mayday.
No, Prashant, your
Yeah.
humor, your energy, your stories, and the way you say it and the way you connect it with our lives, it's just beautiful. And sure, me and Adi, I'm sure even Adi, we have learned a lot from you. And from these stories also, we are taking away so many things. You know, sometimes when you share stories, we can connect dots from our own lives. It's just so beautiful. And I'm sure our viewers have enjoyed. So we can tell our viewers to do that, right, Adi?
Oh yes, the thing. Please like, share, subscribe, add comments. What else?
And ring the bell.
And click the bell so you can get notifications from us.
See, you know,
Yes.
Adi, both Adis, you know, next time we'll explain our all Art of Living people why to click the bell. You know, we will give them a scientific reason on that. You see, when you click, you know, in all the temples, why the big bells, you know, because Gurudev said, no, when you play that, or, you know, then your sound can bring your mind to the present moment. Without that, your seventh chakra or ninth chakra? I can't remember. Seven. So when seventh chakra, you know, the energy. So same way, when if you're watching anything in YouTube, when you click that bell icon, then you are able to focus on that video. Otherwise, you will be looking around here and there, and you won't get much.
Yes.
I think we should probably play that at the start of every chai with Adi and Adi.
Yeah.
Like, tung, Jai Gurudev. We come up with like a starting punchline of Adi and Adi, tung, Jai Gurudev. Then you lift up the chai, you know, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
like that,
Nah.
with more vibration. Yes.
We're so grateful to have you on the show, actually. And thank you so much for giving us two beautiful songs as well.
It's a pleasure, Adi, very much. And look, I would like to also thank you both, because I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. And see, again, I think what I learned from you both is how to use technology, creativity, and at the same time, connect with people and spread his work. So see, I never came up with this idea, what you're doing. So I think I will tell all my friends and all my colleagues, teachers, to support your cause, both of yours. You know, especially the fact that you both are from different city at the moment and yet connecting, quarantined, and here you are in Australia. So it's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It is really actually a very different episode for us. Also, you know, because last few days it has been a very heavy traveling. And then having chai with Adi and Adi, I could not imagine. I could not have imagined having chai with Adi and Adi from quarantine after traveling so much. But it is so refreshing. And it feels so good. It feels like I'm connected to Guruji is with me in the quarantine. So,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. He is. You're
yeah,
right. Like he's also quarantined at the moment. You can
yeah,
imagine, think about it. Person like Gurudev who travel 40 countries a year, sitting in Bangalore, it's like a massive thing for him. So,
yeah,
but as a devotee, I'm very happy. I'll be a devil's advocate, but I'm happy because, he was working so much for us. I believe he needs some rest.
yeah,
And this is a wonderful
right,
thing.
right. So let's take a picture with our cups, Adi
Yes,
and
I've got
Prashant. Adi will click a picture.
yes. Beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, Adi.
Bye. Aditya, now that we've had such a
Yes,
nice show with Prashant, would you like to tell everyone about our next guests coming up, please?
yes. So our next guests are also, every time we say this, special.
It
But
is special
Shreya
every
Chug,
time.
Shreya Chug is our next guest, and she has been with Gurudev since she was 3 years old. She, and she has lived with Guruji, like she used to call Guruji uncle, and she has learned so much from Gurudev, and she has she has taught so many courses all around the world, traveled so many countries. I have heard some of her stories, and some very challenging stories. Imagine just going to a country where people don't know your language, you don't know their language, you don't know anybody, going and working there for the people, and how things work out for you. So we are going to have an amazing Guru story and Chai with Adi and Adi session with her next week.
Perfect. Yes, and thank you for joining from Himachal with your limited Wi-Fi or unlimited connection, though. Unlimited connection, limited Wi-Fi. But yeah, thank you. And thank you
Thank
everyone
you.
for joining us today. And please join us next week. Jai Gurudev.